Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Bows Freak channel. I am your host, Zach, and welcome to the first of many Old World investigations. Today we're going to be kicking things off looking at Rock Glen Falls Conservation Area, located in Arkona, Ontario, just about a 2-hour drive from Windsor, Ontario, and Detroit. Before we get into any pictures or videos, we're just going to get a quick little look here at the Wikipedia page for Rock Glen Falls, and you will see here that the civilization here dates back to quite long ago, 10,000 years ago. Indigenous tribes used to live here and live off the land and hunt caribou and all that good stuff. There's also a huge hub here for fossils, which we discovered many here on our trip there and collected some. Unfortunately, I didn't take any photos of them. That would have been great to slide in here right now, but unfortunately, we do not have that. But also, the most interesting thing, when I first came here, I discovered this very strange giant stone structure out in the middle of the river there. I couldn't access it. I was at the top of this 100-foot gorge. I wanted to swim across so bad, but couldn't work our way down there. So I made a little pact to myself. Next time I go there, I'm swimming across it, and we're going to it. And that's exactly what we did in this trip 3 years later. So we'll be getting to that a little bit later. But from what I discovered from this page here, is that what this structure used to be is a hydroelectric power plant, which they destroyed around World War II, which just begs the question, what are we doing making these massive hydroelectric power plants, presumably in the early 1900s or even before, deep down in these 100-foot gorges in the middle of a river? That's quite the feat. In the middle of nowhere as well here too. We've taken a look at the population of these areas too and really trying to see if we really had the technical capabilities to achieve such great feats just to destroy them only a few decades later. So like I said, we'll dig into all of that. So let's get back and look at some photos and videos that we put together here on this trip. So firstly, we're going to take a look at all the stones that make up this massive gorge. Ones that are lined on the walls and ones that are in the little river slash creek here. And just a reminder, they say that all of this is 100% naturally forming. Nothing is man-made. But when we take a look at the side of this gorge here, this appears to be some sort of a retaining wall. We see a very balanced flat bottom here going across all of these stones as if they were placed specifically in this position on this bottom tier here, flat surface, 90-degree angle, and also here another 90-degree angle, flat surface, making up another row of what looks like stone bricks. Now if we take a look at this next photo as well, you'll see in a separate part of Rock Glen Falls here, we see more of the same here. If anything, this is a more telling photo here. You can see individual bricks, it looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just countless, perfectly cut, 90-degree angles on all these rectangular bricks. And tell me how this is naturally forming. Please tell me how this is naturally forming. And I'm being serious. If there isn't an explanation for things to be, forming 90-degree angle perfect blocks and then be shelved at the exact same angle here on a flat horizontal plane, please give me the answer, because it is absolutely fascinating. Then you see down here another example of these massive stones here making up another rectangular shaped block here with 90-degree angles. And we're going to take a closer look at a few of those that I have photographed here within the gorge. So we see another massive one right here, another perfectly 90-degree cut block, flat on this side, flat on the bottom, and flat on the sides. Just absolutely incredible. And right next to it, you see another one of those right here. Another one here, and this one's got a perfect little lip here, only a couple inches long here, that branches out. And within these next photos we're going to look at here, you're going to see more of the same, which starts to beg some other questions. So then we got another one right here. Before we get to that, another massive rectangular shaped block, 90 degrees, flat surfaces, just absolutely incredible. When I think of naturally forming rocks, I think of something like this, right? Rough, ragged, no flow to it, just random, right? But this is, it looks properly constructed to me, like it was intentionally made that way. So now we look at something like this. We got a giant stone that is buried here. And although there's dirt in between it, I can assure you that this is all part of one block. This is like there's a giant line cut into it. Then underneath it, it's all connected into the same block here. As if something maybe clicked or locked into it, or some sort of linking mechanism. That is if this was a man-made thing. And we're just theorizing on that. But as we look at this next photo, we see more of the same. Another massive rectangular block. I wish I would have got another angle of up here, because it is, I assure you, it is flat, 90-degree angle, making a perfect rectangle here, except for this little piece that is broken off here. And once again, this other massive slit, perfect slit, exact same distance going down this entire thing. And this is probably roughly, I'd say 6-7 feet. I think it was a little bit taller than me, so I was going to say this is 7 feet long. And this part right here is connected to this block. So it's just absolutely magnificent just to think that this is a potentially naturally forming thing. But anyone in this community who's been doing this old world research would be wiser to that simple, very simple mainstream explanation for it.
We're told this is all naturally forming, but I mean, it looks like we got some perfectly cut stone bricks, and this is one of the best examples of it right there. Look at those up there, scattered across this entire place in this 100-foot gorge. It's just everywhere. Look at that perfect right angle right there.
I mean, they're all pretty perfect stuff.
They are pretty perfect, all of them.
So.
Just buried. Completely flat 90s. Slowly being shown more and more every year that goes by. Wait till we get to one structure over here. All right, so now we're approaching that structure I was talking about. Look at this thing doing in the middle, its own little island here. They say it was a part of a hydroelectric dam that was established well before World War II. They destroyed it during World War II. Funny how it was destroyed, they say, during those wars, just like so much old infrastructure is destroyed. And then we got these, which presumed to be, look like masonry cut blocks. Look at that. It's like a perfect rectangle right there. Like we see all over this place. This is a pile of rubble here. Wouldn't be surprised if something else was here before. Attached to this little teardrop island here. Teardrops being the theme we see in the Detroit River a lot and other places we've looked at. And look at that. Look at that. We're about to go over there. Hell yeah.
So as you see here, we have a little plaque, which is right outside the entrance to Rock Glen Falls, where it does mention the hydroelectric dam that we're about to look at here. And if we go back to the Wikipedia there and look, it does say that they sent the military to destroy other surrounding structures that were around that dam. So that pile of rocks that I thought looked like rubble is indeed rubble. But those are quite the big bricks, and it just... there's still so many questions about how we got it down there, how we were making these things down here, and within the 1900s, early 1900s, doing this stuff, and why, during World War II, are we going down there and making an effort to destroy it? They say it was to preserve the conservation area, to not disrupt any species living in the area, and you know, if that is the case, touche, fair enough explanation, but there is just way too many anomalies within this area to really think that that is the true reasoning behind everything that we are seeing here. So without further ado, let's go look at this hydroelectric dam.
Yeah, this would be the system. Hydroelectric little power plant thing here. It's that little slant that goes down right under me. Is this big gaping opening. Let's get down here. With some interesting cuts in it. Hello! Beautiful echo. Wow. Look at that. Fascinating. Very fascinating. Now that we're over at this side of it, it's hard to see what's inside of it, or it takes another shape with all these stone bricks in it. The water once passed over top of all this. I'm not exactly sure how this operated, but it's clear we have some hydroelectric energy that would have been created here with this current. The shape of this island, the way it circles around, it's magical. Truly magical.
And now here for context, so you can see this teardrop island I am speaking about. This is the structure right here that we are standing on, and this is that little island that we swam across to here. But you can see how it comes to a little point here, and we get these teardrop type shapes. Here's the rubble as well too, where a structure used to stand, a part of this hydroelectric dam. And you know, I first started noticing these teardrop shaped anomalies in the Detroit River right near my home, which will be a whole nother video that we're going to investigate, and my theory on what the Detroit River used to be, and that being a hydroelectric power plant, a massive one of mass proportions. But we will just take a very quick look at that right now, just to show you what I am talking about when it comes to that. So we're in my hometown, Amherstburg, and just already looking at, you know, these islands and man-made ones. We already got some pretty incredible anomalies. But once again, we start to see these teardrop shapes, and which looks like the scars of old canals that used to run through here, intentionally made for the harvesting of hydroelectric energy. Just absolutely incredible and beautiful things to behold. And this all fits in with the star forts that are surrounding in our area. We got Fort Malden Star Fort right here. Up here, we got the Fort Wayne Star Fort right next to Zug Island, which is the home of the Detroit World's Fair. And once again, we see these teardrop-shaped islands all the way up, alongside some other presumed and theorized star forts in this area, especially this one right here. Very mysterious. I can't wait to get to a video on that. But look at these old canal systems. We can see the scars of it all just ripping through here. These old teardrops, and you know, something must have been here. I don't want to spend too much time on this because this is the whole topic itself, but come on, this looks like it was just absolutely bombarded and destroyed, and we're left with the scars of an old canal system that used to flow through Amherstburg here. And of course it is marshy and swampy because what? It was completely choked off from its natural water supply, creating this overgrown, swampy atmosphere for it. But that is not the subject of this video, so let's return to Rock Glen Falls.
So we're now down at the base of this, at the entrance. And you can see the height. That's like well over 6 feet. That's about 7 feet there. That's not counting from the ground there. But this has some steel in here. But we got these slots that go up at 1, 2 diagonal slots every about foot. They go up until we reach this little shaft, which has its own diagonal slots. So then over top this, out that way where that giant broken piece of stone is. We get this little lip here as well. Little stairs that go to the top, or a ladder, more like. It's incredible. Incredible.
Now before we go, I'm going to leave you with a few more shots we got here. One, this beautiful panoramic one we got with the iPhone here. I absolutely love this photo. You see the left side of the river flowing in into the exit where that rubble is. Then you also get to catch the roundabout there on that island. Just a stunning photo. Really happy with that one. And then we just got a few here, courtesy of the Nikon P1000. What an absolute gem that camera is. The zooming capability, incredible. We are some distance here, and you can see pretty crystal clear here what we got going on with the hydroelectric dam here. And just a few more angles of the middle body here now too. Beautiful moss growing over it. And then we get the very far right side here with the no trespassing sign. Whoops, my bad. Did I do that? Sorry, it's gonna happen again. So Here's a couple more that we got here, just the most telling evidence of the stone bricks within the gorge here, and I just absolutely love this photo so much. It's just very undeniable to me, shots like this, that there is more going on here than what the official historical narrative has provided for us. And this is a theme that we constantly see with all these conservation areas and government-owned pieces of property. There's always something like this strange going on in those areas there. And it's just another great example of that. Beautiful 90, beautiful stone brick there. About 80 feet up this mountain here, just surrounded by, countless and countless examples just like it. And I love this beautiful shot I got from my first time visiting Rock Glen Falls here. The fall colors just really brings it out, and we just see this graveyard of stone and these flat surfaces and these rectangles, and just truly beautiful, really beautiful, hauntingly beautiful. Sad, but also at the same time, God, it's the most exciting, being able to potentially start to discover things like this and help bring this old knowledge into the awarenesses of all those that we come in contact with. Wherever our message may go, we shall bring it. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You can lead a man to knowledge, but you can't make him think. And all I will do is plant the seeds, and when they're destined to take root and sprout, if they ever are, I will be here to help support it. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching this video and joining me on my investigation into Rock Glen Falls. This is just the first of many I intend to do, and next off I'll be taking you guys to London, Ontario, which was a part of the spontaneous trip we had here. We planned this Rock Glen Falls trip within only a few days. The weather looked nice there. We went there, and I really think we discovered some very incredible things. And the next thing you know, the road later that night took us to London, which just launched off an incredible investigation of its own there. The structures there you will never believe, I never thought would have been in London, Ontario. And the anomalies within the historical narrative around the construction of these buildings and the population that was there during the time of construction, and the symbols that are on these buildings, which are quite controversial and don't really fit the official historical narrative, are absolutely fascinating. So stay tuned. I'll be putting that video together shortly, and if you guys enjoyed, be sure to comment, like, subscribe. Let me know if there's any other areas that you have found with similar anomalies or you want me to check out or look into. I am here for it all. Any news, any updates, any constructive criticism, anything top to bottom, any questions or concerns, lay it on me. We're open-minded here. We can be completely wrong with everything that we're looking at. This can be completely out of left field, 100% false, or it could be completely true, or there's just something in between it all that we have yet to discover. So, until next time, this is Zach, aka Bose Freak, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.